Jesus, Mary and Joseph. The Home Secretary, we're told, has ignored calls for talks over immigration policy from the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, who previously declared the government's Rwanda policy to be against the judgment of God. Well, I'm glad to know the two of them are still in touch. However, Mrs. Braverman has, we're told, so far refused a meeting. I've got to say, I really don't blame her. If I was invited to tea round at old Welby's, I'd have to tell him I'm washing my hair, which, as you know, doesn't happen very often. I know Welby sits in the House of Lords and he's allowed a political view, but these days he sounds like an actual politician, and probably a Labour one. You'd think he didn't have anything better to do, like comment on the huge social and moral problems facing this country. The collapse of the family, broken homes, children born out of wedlock, and an explosion in crime and antisocial behaviour. You'd think he'd be more focused on a growing financial crisis within his own organisation as they consolidate parishes and try to save money. Not helped, of course, by his decision to create a fund that will effectively pay reparations for the Church's debatable links to slavery. So whether it's slavery reparations, immigration or his lust for net zero, it seems Welby will stop at nothing to boost his woke credentials. His pronouncements on illegal immigration hint towards a looser borders policy for the United Kingdom. No wonder Braverman doesn't want to engage with him. In my view, he's yet another privileged celebrity, insulated from the real-world consequences of his virtuous pronouncements. I doubt that Welby struggles to get a GP appointment. His accommodation is lavish, and with these comments, he appears completely unaware of how small communities around the country have been impacted by thousands of people accommodated in local hotels at a cost of £7 million a day. The illegal migrant crossings are tragic. They are an economic, national security and humanitarian disaster. They are based on a cruel and criminal business model. People have perished on those crossings, and earlier this year, the Mail reported that 19 suspected terrorists, including 5 linked to ISIS, were living in taxpayer-funded migrant hotels. Are terrorists morally unacceptable, Mr. Welby? If you look at the polling, Welby appears to be dividing his flock. You wouldn't know this if you only read The Guardian, but a majority of the public want an end to these unedifying, chaotic, dangerous, illegal crossings. And the public want more sustainable levels of legal net migration. Welby thinks that he's above the will of the people. What do you plebs know? He with a capital H is guided by a higher force. You might think that Stop the Boats is designed to put human traffickers out of business and stop people jumping the queue at the expense of those who genuinely deserve asylum. But Welby would like to correct you on that. You are ungodly. You're a sinner. You can go to hell. Woke Welby is out of touch, out of step and out of order. Suella, don't bother with that invitation. Tell him you're washing your hair. By pushing back on measures to tackle this problem and therefore unwittingly siding with people traffickers, it's actually Welby's view which is morally unacceptable. May God forgive him.